Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Medicom Toy Mafex number... What's the number on this? Number 202, the Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Captain America in his stealth suit, as part of course, the Infinity Saga release of figures, because it is kind of odd to get a action figure for a movie that has released, gosh, I don't know how many years ago, at this point, 10 years ago maybe? Holy moly. I also have the Winter Soldier here that we'll be taking a look at in the video, next video after this. But shout out to Big Bad Toy Store for getting this out to me. It is currently in stock now, so link in the video description below. We're going to take a look. So I took a look at the Mafex Iron Man, the I Am Iron Man, the final battle version. And I was extremely impressed by that figure. It is so good. And it's like, why have I been sleeping on the Mafex MCU figures for so long? You know, I have the Spider-Man ones, of course, but it's Spider-Man, so I was going to get them. But the MCU ones, I've been sleeping on them. I have been. Like, whoa, my goodness. So here, the Captain America stealth suit, we're going to check him out. He looks pretty amazing. I've seen a bunch of pictures and everything, so I'm really looking forward to this one. So excited. So looking at the size of the box, and a whole lot going on and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. On the back of the package, you can see everything that he's got there. We got a couple of different head sculpts. We got the masked one, we got the unmasked one, we kind of have the like gritting teeth one. We got two shields, which is pretty cool. And then we also get like some straps and extra hands and all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and open it up, take all the accessories out, and let's take a look at Captain America in his stealth suit, the Mafex figure. Okay, and just to quickly show you the tray so we can see all the hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 extra sets of hands with the 2 shields. We get some straps for the shields and everything like that. And of course, every Mafex does come with a Mafex stand. So we have that there. So now, let's go ahead and take it all out. Okay, so here is the Captain America stealth suit figure out of the package, and we're going to try and rush this section a little bit because I do have a couple of problems with this figure. Then the first one, and somebody had commented something about this, and I didn't know what they were talking about until I took the figure out of the package, is we have these boot covers over here. The right leg one is positioned oddly to where it holds the foot at too much of an angle down. So it makes it a little bit difficult to stand up, and he kept falling down. Now that I actually hit record on the camera, naturally, of course, he's going to stand up forever, because that's how it always seems to go. Now, I forced the foot up as much as I can to hold in position for a little bit longer this time. Sure. So it seems to be holding fairly well. I think at any point he may fall over. Overall, the figure is pretty damn cool. I really like it. It looks amazing. It feels very sturdy, unlike some of the other Mafex figures. And I only say that because of like the comic Spider-Man ones are just a lot thinner. This one is a little bit bulky. It's definitely going to be bulkier than any other Mafex figure that I've had. I will do a comparison with that battle damaged Iron Man a little bit later. But this one is a very solid feeling figure, and I did not expect that from Mafex, so I'm very happy about that. We get a lot of cool accessories and some things like that. But one of the accessories, if I'm being honest, I don't really care much for, because it's the shield. It goes with the shield, so you can hold the shield on his back. So as of right now, you can see the shield is on his back. That's always cool, right? That's a signature thing. It's not very user-friendly on how you do it. It's an interesting way of doing it, and it keeps aesthetically the best for his back as well as the shield. So I can understand why they would do it that way. However, it's just difficult and not the greatest to use. So we will take a look at that probably kind of first. So as you can see, there's like this clip type system. It's just, again, a little funky. See, his foot's starting to go. But yeah, so there it is. Again, the figure looks awesome. I will do a comparison with the Marvel Legends release, which did get 2 releases. We had the original. We had the original way back when, and then we got the Infinity Saga re-released here not that long ago, and then, you know, here. Obviously, of course, the Mafex is absolutely going to win in terms of aesthetic, look, proportions, everything, because it's just a far superior figure. The Marvel Legends one, 10 years ago, cool. Nice figure. Yeah. Re-released this past year, or a few months ago or whatever. Ooh, should have come out with a new one, right? It's cool because now people get a chance to get that suit, but yeah, So now with the Mafex one, it really kind of fills out a little bit better. And the crazy part is when you have a Mafex figure that's bigger than a Marvel Legends, whoa, right? So severely undersized on the Marvel Legends, but the Mafex, we're looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and get into this clip system. Since the shield fell off anyway. So the way this shield system works is you have two different pieces. So we have that, and then this little strap piece always seems to want to fall. It doesn't stay secured in there. So you have this clip system. So you have these straps, which is glued down right here, and I don't think it should be because it's not glued down on this side. So what it allows you to do is it allows you to slip this kind of through that strap. And again, on his right side, for whatever reason, it's glued down, so you can't get it all the way in. So you kind of do that, and then you have that peg there. So that's the way it works. And then there's this other plastic piece that you stick through the straps, and it's got a peg hole in the middle, and then you just peg it in. Whoops, see? And then that strap keeps wanting to fall off because you swap out the small strap so you can put it on his back, and then you have the bigger strap for when you have it on his arm, and it only does go in a certain way, and that one holds a lot sturdier, so that one you know, does get a little bit tricky getting it to hold. Let's see if I could do this while that's still on there. That's probably not the best way to do it. So that's tricky. I'm not a big fan of this. I can understand, again, why they did it, because it is the most aesthetically pleasing to his back. No peg holes or anything like that. And then for the shield, again, it keeps a nice clean look for the shield as well. Let's put that little mini strap on. So it does keep a very clean look for the shield. So we have that. But now let's go ahead and get in for a closer look at the Mafex Captain America. Okay, here we have a close-up. And I think I kind of fixed that bootstrap problem. So looking at it here, as you can see, these boot covers, it really wants to get that foot hinged down a little too much. And again, it's just the right foot that seems to be an issue. But I think if you really like force it long enough, it'll just kind of keep it to where, you know, you can get him to stand up straight. So we have that there. We get a couple of different head sculpts. In my opinion, the heads do look a little bit small, the helmeted heads. The unmasked Steve Rogers head sculpt, which does have a pretty good Chris Evans likeness from that film, looks a lot bigger. So here we have that. And then taking a look at the unhelmeted head sculpt, you could see it is much larger. So I'm not sure why that would kind of be the case. I think, you know, helmet-wise, the head might seem overall same size, but the helmet should be bigger to go on top of this, right? It just doesn't, it's just not proportionally correct in my opinion. So let's go ahead and pop that off. Let's put on the Steve Rogers head sculpt. And there, yes, that looks so much more proportionately better. Like, it doesn't look like he's got a tiny head. And again, I do see the Chris Evans head sculpt. I know like Mafex early on, just they couldn't nail Tom Hiddleston's likeness. They couldn't do it. I looked at the Robert Downey Jr. and that one was pretty darn good. And here with Chris Evans, pretty good. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's definitely there. I really see the resemblance. And then if I look at it compared to like the Marvel Legends, I would say it's probably better. You know, I could still see the resemblance in both. But I think just overall, it just ends up looking a little bit better. A little like natural color instead of like super bright red lips there. So that looks really good. We also get an additional head sculpt where he's showing his teeth. Oops. Looks like I pulled that peg out. So I will have to fix that. Let's see. Okay, so I have to work that. So that's something with Mafex that we need to take a look at. Let's see, how can I get it? Alright, well, I'm going to have to work on that. Okay, so there is the gritty teeth head sculpt on there. I was able to pop that peg actually pretty good. I just needed, you know, both hands to be able to do it. And I like this look here. This looks pretty good. One thing that also comes with it, and I should have done this, I guess, when I had the unhelmeted head sculpt, is you have the loose mask, because he does remove it at one point. I think, you know, when he's going up against... what's the Ultimate Fighter dude? What was his name? Something the Leaper. What the Leaper? I can't remember his name. But that first fight on the Lemurian Star, he does remove the helmet there. So you can see this helmet is not something that would fit on top of this head sculpt. So that the helmet should have been a little bit bigger, but it's basically right on size with these head sculpts. I just think they could have done that a little bit better. But looking at the rest of the figure, one thing that he is lacking is a bicep swivel. I think that would have gone a long way. It really would have affected the aesthetic of the design of the suit. So maybe that's why they didn't do it. So just a heads up on there. But the rest of the figure does look pretty good. If anything, the hands might be a little bit small and the feet a little bit small as well. But body size wise, I do really like it and it looks good. We get some nice silver paint, brown for the straps and things like that throughout the figure. That dark red on the side. We get that like that black color in the middle pattern. Just aesthetically, the sculpt wise looks really good. Really like the way it came out looking. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation. Okay, so taking a look at Captain America's articulation, he can look up. Oop, pop the head. The neck does move, so he can look up somewhat. He can look down a whole hell of a lot better than he can look up. That's for sure. You get some good, really good pivot in there. Full rotation in that neck, and then the neck itself could also move in there. So we get a lot of good movement in that neck. The shoulder, you can get the arm to go straight on out like so. You have a little bit of a butterfly, and you can get that shoulder to come out a little bit as well. So you can get it to go back and come forward a little bit. You can't do a whole lot of cross body because the butterfly doesn't really come deep in the front, and then you have these straps in the way. So just a heads up on that. Again, no bicep swivel, unfortunately. You have the single joint, ball joint elbow there. Gives you a really good bend, though, over 90 degrees. You have somewhat of a swivel in there, so just be aware of that. Oops, pulled that forearm right off. The Mafex joints and stuff, sometimes they come apart, but they do go back on there pretty easily. Wrist swivel and they hinge. You have a ball joint hinge on there, so you can move around as needed on the hands. We got the upper diaphragm cut on Captain America along with a ball joint waist. So total, you can get him to tilt to his left that much, which is really good. Total to the right, you could do that, which is really, really good. Total going back between the two is that far, and then total coming forward isn't as much, but it's definitely more than most Marvel Legends, I would say. So just a heads up on that, forcing it. That's as far forward as you're going to get him to crunch forward. And then swivel at the diaphragm, at the ball joint waist, all that as well. The legs do have the drop down hip, so you can drop down the hip that far, as you can see there. You can do full splits with the figure. It can kick forward very high. The leg does go back, as you can see there. There's somewhat of a thigh swivel in there. I think you can move it around just enough that you'll need. Double jointed knee, which looks really good there. We have a swivel at the top of the boot. Foot hinges only a little bit down and a little bit up. These boot covers really do hinder that. There is some pivot in there. And then you also have toe articulation there. So really good movement for Captain America, but that is to be expected. It is a Mafex figure. With these import figures, put a lot of focus into articulation. And the good thing about Mafex is they really try to make it as aesthetically pleasing as possible. The only things that are not aesthetically pleasing, I would say, are the elbows, because they always have these ball joint elbows, which end up looking very smooth compared to the sculpted suits and everything like that. I can look past that, but just a heads up on that. You know, I realized I didn't really show off the accessories too well. We get the two different shields. So we get the stealth suit shield, which has the light blue and the silver in there. Then we get the standard shield with the red, silver, and blue. Not quite white, but I like the way that looks. And again, on the insides, you could do the straps, right? One strap is the removable strap, so you can move it between the two different shields. Whoops. Again, the small strap is really like if you want to show off. Let me make sure I'm putting that strap on there right. The shield is, the small strap's really to show off the shield if you want to show it like that. And then the larger strap is truly like when you want to have it on his arm, and I'll show that a little bit. And there's a couple of ways that you're going to want to do that. Because like if you do it to where you do that, like the hand's not going to go through the smaller strap, so that's when it gets tricky. So you're going to kind of have to pop the hand off, and then depending on how you want to do it, you could use some of the other hands, like the grip hands. You can like grip that onto that shield portion already and then pop it on once you have it in there. So you're going to have to try different things on how you're going to do that, but it's cool that we get the two different versions of the shield, even though this one would be technically the accurate one to the movie, but we get both, so that is nice. We get the two straps. Also, we talked about the head sculpts. We talked about the shield holding clip for his back. Now let's talk about hands, because we get 4 extra sets of hands. So we have here, these are kind of the grip hands, as you could see there. They're not really going to grip anything because they're kind of more open, but we have those there. And then we have these hands, and I'll have to kind of see. Ooh, I guess this would be, I didn't even notice these on there. So this is going to have to be something, I think, with like throwing the shield or holding onto the shield. We'll take a look at that. And then we just kind of have these open hands here. And then we've got the finger pointing hands here. They are fists out of the package there. So let's go ahead and play around with some of these hands and with the shields. Okay, so this is actually an interesting one. I kind of like it. Because it does help like secure the shield. So this hand has this clip, this plastic clip already in there. So what you're going to do is you're just going to slide the hand like so. This clip is going to go through that strap and boom, whoops, and boom, just like that, you could see Cap is holding on to the shield like so, and it hides that plastic clip, and it looks like he is full on gripping that shield, so you have nothing to worry about. But like the trigger finger grip hands that he comes with, he can full on grip that shield and hold it there. So you have a couple of different options. Okay, so I'm going to go through the process here. With that grip hand, I also put onto that strap there. So then what we're going to do is we're going to then, let's try it this way. Let's go ahead and put the strap on the shield. Let's make sure it's nice and secure on there. And then we're going to slip the hand in there. And then peg that hand onto that arm. Like so. Actually, you know what? I guess we're going to have to try the strap on the arm first. And then peg that hand in. And then we're going to connect the bigger strap onto the shield. There we go. Boom. There he is holding onto the shield. So you could do it a couple of different ways. I just was having a little bit of difficulties there. But that is on there nice and secure, nice and tight. That is not going to be going anywhere. So you have your shield with Captain America. So I'm going to kind of be going around doing some poses before I do some of those comparison shots here. But like using the Mafex stand, I'm going to try and work it in a way that I think we can show the shield being thrown from Captain America. But I was also looking at like images from the movie itself. That's kind of how I go about like recreating poses and stuff. And looking at the posters and things like that, there was this cool shot of Captain America like with the shield, the red one. And then kind of looking here. And that's the best that I could do there. But I'm going to work these pieces with the Mafex stand that comes, because I think we can do something with like the shield being thrown. So I'm going to work on that and let's see what I can pull off. Okay, so I thought the stand might be used to kind of do this throwing shield kind of thing. And yeah, kind of, but no, not really. I think it was more just like museum stand pose type of thing. So I just kind of had to rig it in a way that it would kind of work. It doesn't actually work, but you can do it in a way where it kind of hides the stand kind of thing. And then I just have, Cap in the background. Let me focus in on him. It doesn't exactly work, but, I kind of put it together. You can still do some fun stuff, and people with better photography skills can really be able to do that. So there's that. So let's go ahead and get into the comparisons with like the battle damaged Iron Man as well as Spider-Man. Okay, so for some side-by-side comparisons here, we have Iron Man with Captain America and Spider-Man. As you can see, Captain America is pretty big. He's probably a little too tall. I would say when you compare with Iron Man, I think they should be about the same height. Now, Spider-Man was portrayed as being very short in comparison, so I think, this might work a little bit, but it still makes him look tiny, when compared. But still looks very good. We'll see how he looks next to the Winter Soldier. That's going to kind of be the most important tell there. And I don't have any other Mafex Captain America figures. I think I'm probably going to get like the old classic World War II suit when that Mafex figure drops, and we'll see how that one compares with this one. It should be about the same size, but I don't have any of the ones from like Avengers Endgame to really be able to, or Infinity War to compare. But you guys let me know what you think in terms of scaling for this Captain America. And then, of course, we have the Marvel Legends compared to the Mafex, and there's just no competition between the two. The Mafex is just a far superior figure. Yeah, so much better. So much better. Okay, so that is my review of the Mafex number 202 Captain America Stealth Suit from the Infinity Saga Captain America the Winter Soldier. Solid figure for sure, but there are a couple of things like the shield, to attach it to his back. The smaller shield strap falling off easily. Those are a little bit frustrating. The neck peg thing. But other than that, the figure looks really good. One of the best looking Captain America figures in my opinion. Blows the Marvel Legends out of the water easily. So definitely the best Captain America that you can get in this particular look. So I am very pleased with it overall. We'll see how he looks next to the Winter Soldier. That is going to be in the next video, so stay tuned for that. I think it's going to be pretty awesome to see those two together, because Captain America the Winter Soldier is arguably the best MCU movie. You can argue Infinity War Endgame, sure. I mean, but those got other things going on for it. Culmination of storytelling over the last 12 years or whatever it was at that point. 10 years. But like for Captain America the Winter Soldier at that time, the best MCU movie, and still, again, you can argue that it still is. So you guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of this Mafex Captain America figure? What do you think of the MCU Mafex figures in general? Let me know all of that down in the comments below. Remember, this is currently in stock right now at BigBadToyStore.com, so link in the video description below to pick up this Captain America Winter Soldier or any other Marvel Mafex figures that you may be looking to add to your collection. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.